Land, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Friday, March 27th, 2020, 3 p.m. Eastern. There's roughly basically two forces with this planet. One, I'm sure we all know, is in our perspective, the negative, the force that wishes to annihilate, to destroy. And then there is the God, of which we all are, of flourish, expand, grow, bliss, joy, peace. It's the opposite. It is the opposite of what we are. That's the best way to put it. And to understand it clearly, it is low, dark matter frequency, or low survival matter frequency. What this means is that it's to practice being very clear on the difference between the two. Now, those frequencies have intent. We have intent. Those frequencies wish annihilation. We wish for enlightenment, expansion, growth, flourish. You see the difference? They're basically opposing one another. They aren't attracted to each other. They're opposing. So what happens when you have this force, this frequency, this low frequency, and you have this wonderfully good, loving, blissful, joyful frequency? You have a situation where there's no unity at all. There is just, it's polarizing. It's the opposite. So do you, knowing that, and knowing that intent, what we intend or what we think, we create. Okay? So if you concentrate or you give your attention or your frequency energy and focus on that, on the turmoil and chaos and all the things happening, you will feed it and make it stronger. Now, if you look throughout the small history of this planet, we see clearly, most of us, when we understand what truly takes place on this planet, we understand that the only way is to not give that intent whatsoever of that existence, that opposite, the self-annihilation mentality, is to not give that attention, is to not, to focus yourself on the now and what you desire for you. It's very important because, as we've talked about this on other meditations, it involves us understanding clearly not only who and what we are. We know we are the God. We know we house the kingdom of God within our bodies, within our temples. We know that we were generated, made out of pure, deep, eternal love through source creation, which is pure consciousness. So we're aware of these, and we're harmonizing with them. Some slower, some faster, some just in between. There's no race. But when you get to that understanding, you realize, and it's like a floodlight is turned on in the dark and illuminates everything. Of what you could not see, you can now see clearly. And what you cannot feel, you can now feel deeply. So as you look at this and realize that any conflict that we've ever had on this planet, think about it. And we're talking about religions, man-made religions. We are talking about disagreement over land, disagreement over or deception over Vietnam was a deception. World War II was a deception. World War I was a deception. Revolutionary War was a deception. I mean, these are all things that we've been taught that were not that way, but they were. And it's always been about pitting us, a civilization made out of deep eternal love, pitting us against each other. Deunification, destruction, lies, manipulation. This is all a positive because we're aware of it. You know, it's not a positive, it's a negative when you're not aware of it. When you don't know what it's all about. You only see one facet of it. You don't see the whole picture, and that's dangerous. So when we begin to understand that this is just a conscript of the same old, this ran a course on this planet over and over again. You have a civilization come in. The civilization is bicameral. You keep the civilization under a slave ship, basically. You entertain it, you do certain things for it to make it think it's free. And I'm talking about the physical freedom. I'm not talking about the God freedom. We will always be free as the gods we are. So, and then what comes in? Total control, total suppression, and total annihilation. Then a new civilization comes in, and the same thing starts over again. You see, it is a constant annihilation from those frequencies. That's all it can do. All right. Now we're neutral. We have no hate or anger towards that, but we're aware of it. So why would we give it any time at all? Why would we give it attention? Knowing by giving attention our intent, because we are literally supreme reality, supreme creation, and anything, every single thought we engage with ourselves is created into reality. So imagine that. If you're looking at something, you're seeing something, or you get that wave from the ego mind, or that fear, or that anticipation, or that struggle, or that argument with yourself, you're giving that power over you. And the reason that we're shifting so much in this transition is because we're moved to higher frequency. It is an absolute fact that the collective consciousness resonating vibrational frequency of this planet and the collective consciousness has risen astronomically. You cannot continue to be subversive in lower frequency when higher frequency becomes the prevalent force. It cannot happen. See? And unfortunately, we do have, and that bicameral, understand this, we look outside of ourselves. And so we look for the God in the heaven to save us. We look for anything external that is going to tell us what to do, that's going to come and save us, that's going to do this and that. That's bicameral. Okay? That's what that is. That's part of it. And that's why we look at all the things the way we do, and then we come out of that deep sleep, that slumber, a bear out of the cave, and we begin to absorb and understand exactly what we are. Because the only reason that we are shifting the way we are is because of the fact that we are becoming aware. we are becoming aware, not only of who and what we are, but of our surroundings, what's going on. You see, unconsciously, the civilization has created a lot of turmoil, not knowing it. And no matter what that side, the Luciferian configuration, claims or does, that's their direction. That's it. That's their direction. We have a different one. And it isn't about winning or losing. That's competition. That's obstruction. That's friction. It is, we've decided to raise our vibrational frequencies, to experience more. We've spent a heck of a long time bicameral and conflict and everything. We're masters of experience with it. We have nothing else to learn about it. See? So we're moving on. And that's exactly what's going on this planet. It isn't prophesized, so to speak. It just is occurring. It's not spoken about really much out there. You see any of the news heads saying anything about this? No, you don't. Okay? You really don't. And it really does. It takes a concerted effort of choosing to participate in a combined global guided meditation daily, every day, constantly, now for over 2 years. Every holiday, every single day. This is why we're expanding. It takes time. At first we started with, I don't know, maybe 20 people, 10, and it just kept growing. And it will continue to grow. Because this is about awakening an entire civilization to finally to come to the understanding with itself, with each and every one of us, and we are no longer bicameral, that we are fully conscious, and that we can determine for ourselves, decide for ourselves, think for ourselves, govern ourselves, lead ourselves. We can create value. We can build wealth for ourselves in a civilization. It's not like it's something that's real difficult, really, okay? Because when you start journeying within is when you become aware that you're conscious, okay? And that's why the first steps are to forgive your entire self, everything about you, whatever you've done. Forgive it completely through the heart mind. And it's gone. You don't visit it again. It doesn't plague you again through the ego mind. You completely forgive and release. It's the same with love. Loving yourself from head to toe, inside and out, period. Every aspect of you, the way you are right now in this very moment. See, that's clearing. And it brings you into a deeper understanding. And as we go deeper, you will find out and experience here shortly, as we go deeper and deeper, we start to understand, what is it? What is it? What is the actual construct? How many people say, why are we here? What am I doing here? It doesn't feel right. I don't care to be in this body. I want to leave, type thing. Okay? Now it's different. I was having a conversation with a nice lady who runs a shop in this little village. But of course, it's not. I have to laugh about it, but it's a non-essential. Okay, so they're closed, and these small merchants depend on some kind of traffic to generate funds to keep an operation. So she was talking about, because she was EMT at one time. She lived in New York, physician's assistant type setup, nurse's aide, and major hospital. And she was talking with this one guy who happened to be on a full support, what do they call it? It keeps you alive, okay? And he couldn't talk. He could just use his eyes. And she was talking with him and everything. normally, and you couldn't talk. You can't talk when you're on one of those. And he said to her, "I don't want to live this way." And she kind of was blown away because you can't you're unable to talk when you're on those. And then she said, "What did you say?" And he said, "Again, I don't want to live this way." And then he said it again. And so the family and everybody, of course, she had, informed him, and then he told them, and they, I think the wife, took him off the, for some reason it's slipping my mind, but the thing that was keeping him alive artificially. And interestingly enough, she came back the next day, I think it was, or a couple days, and she went directly to his room, and he was gone. And it was broad daylight. It was about 2:30 in the afternoon, and she looked out the window, and she saw a star shoot by. Broad daylight, sunny sky, and the star shot by. And him letting her know that he was thankful that he was able to get out of that body. That's a different reason, okay? Where our bodies are so destroyed that we really can't do anything. But you say, well, you can experience it. Well, you get to a point where you decide. It's always us deciding, remember that, to leave the body. It's up to us. It isn't up to anyone else. And it's another thing. You're not going to get punished, okay? And it's different on different fronts. When you're disillusioned mentally and all these things that happen to people, it is a gift to be in the body. And when I say a gift, it's what we strive for is to experience in physical form. See? And there's only so many of these vessels to go around on this planet. So it's not like you could have trillions of us come in to bodies because there's not enough bodies. That's why some of us will come in at a lower animal form just to experience physical form. Some of us seriously will enter trees, animals, wolves, bears, different animals, different life forms, because the physical bodies, there's just not enough of them. So we have to wait. Now remember that we all choose, when we become fully conscious and aware of who and what we are, we all choose to what we want to do. Seriously. It isn't like you have a directive or anything. So you say, you know what? I'm gonna incarnate on this planet and I'm gonna help these people, these beings. Because it really looks like it's a real challenge down there. So I'd like to help them. Okay? The only way you become suppressed is when you suppress yourself. The only way you become depressed is because you depress yourself. And that life supports life support ventilator. That's what he was on. Life support ventilator. So it's only important. It depends on what's important to you. What you value. Okay. So understand in the days ahead, and the process is coming, some of you may become a little confused as to what the emotion, feeling. I'm talking about feeling, okay? Because remember, we've been so used to being in a vat of goop and not knowing it. And we've come out of that. And it isn't, and we're looking around and we're clear and we're saying, wow, look at all this stuff. I wonder if it's really true. I wonder if this is what's really going on. And we all ask ourselves that from time to time. But Here's the real power. It is you who decides and determines and who creates your future. It is you who decides and determines and creates your now. This has nothing to do with the past. The past is dead. This has everything to do with the now. And the more clear you become with yourself, the more love you are with yourself, the more peace you are with yourself, the more gentleness you are with yourself. Because, and I think this has always been a stumbling block for the civilization. If we were to simply realize and feel this intimate connection to an unlimited source of energy, love, divine intelligence, and universal wisdom is within each and every single one of us at all times. And the moment each of us, in our own way, in our own direction, the moment each of us own this hidden, enlightening power within us, it will be unleashed. And we, each of us, will let it out onto the world around us, and we will see that we will be able to literally create anything into reality, manifest anything into reality, anything. And we then realize, we then come to a full understanding. It's like, the more often I give it away, the deeper I realize that it is a power that no one can take away. Have you come to that yet? The more you give it away, the deeper you realize that it is a power that no one can take away. And when you come full circle with this understanding, each and every one of us are literally totally free. It's a good analogy that Rumi uses in one of his quotes. We were born with wings, so to speak. We are not meant for crawling. So don't. We have wings. Let's learn how to use them and fly. Let's expand. Let's flourish. Enjoy prosperity, peace, abundance, tranquility. And all the deception attempts possible that's thrown at us will melt away and will always be revealing themselves for their true existence. And they shall no longer be. See, this is how they've been able to take the power and to make it look that way. They can't take the power. But when I say they, we're talking about the lower frequencies. But this is how they've been able to sneak it, is to take the power away. So throughout history, throughout the real history of this civilization, there were those that were created through collective consciousness to give us a different perspective. And in some ways, show us where the God was, where the God really was, okay? Where the power really is. Who has power? People, it's funny because when people come around people that can heal them, they think that, okay, they believe that, well, they're really special because I could never do that, what they did for me. It's totally opposite is true. Okay? We all of us, have the same powers, have the same abilities. Period. It is just it's what we choose to embrace and create into reality, manifest, period. It's what we choose to create for ourselves. So, if you believe that you're not able to do that, you will not do it. It's as simple as that. And the more we become aware, and I'm not talking through television, hearsay, editorials, documents, all of this stuff, it has always been within. But we have a tendency, because we are so inquisitive, that we're so hungry to experience, that we find ourselves being tripped up and seduced into areas that serve us no greater good at all. They're just low frequencies. And when you can start to identify the low frequencies for yourself, you don't judge. You just say, that's low frequency, so I'm not going to participate in it. I just don't have any reason to. I'm going to take my power and energy, and I'm going to concentrate and focus the life I want to live, the life in the world I want to be in. And that's it. That's what happens. That's why we're transitioning. That's why we're in 5D. That's why everything seems to have gone, a lot of people, everything seems to have gone to insanity on this planet. It's absolutely ludicrous. And here's the key part. People are beginning to realize many things. This is all positive, too, because they're starting to realize many things that they wouldn't have had this not been put in place. You see? These curfews and these shutdowns and all of this stuff based on a common cold virus. Okay? Now, if you can convince the majority of the civilization that it's really real and destructive, then it's going to be real and destructive. And if the majority of the civilization comes out of bicameral and embraces their consciousness, which they've done for over 3,000 years, then none of it will be able to hold. It'll be gone. And when the collective consciousness of the planet, or the civilization, the majority, begins to understand and says, this, we don't care to have this affecting any of us. It's just gone. All right? And the turmoil, and the galactic wars, and all the conflicts. Do you honestly believe that you realize that all of these different civilizations are plagued with similar things? The ego mind, being deceived, being seduced. Right now, in this very moment, the key to our happiness and to our joy, one part of it, is to focus our conscious mind on things we desire. That's it. Not the things we fear. Unfortunately, a lot of a bicameral civilization fears. They focus on the fears, so they create more. It's imperative, and it's working. And it has come. The time has come. Really has. And I think we all know it. For each of us to realize how to harness this divine infinite power inside of us. How to harness it. How to direct it. And by doing so, we will enlighten ourselves and create a more enlightened planet around us by simply learning how to transcend our minds. We will tap into the infinite power, and we are tapping into the infinite power behind it all. And our world, right before us, is being transformed. And when we see the world from our eyes of the divine, we will think differently, and we will feel and behave on a higher frequency. And soon, everyone must catch on. Everyone must catch on. And most people say, creating an enlightened world, that's ridiculous. That's impossible. Forget it. Or could it be that enlightenment is an inside job and is as natural as the light and warmth from the sunshine above? And I'm sharing this. It can never be said enough one of the crucial pieces of all is to exploring the enlightened path and being aware where you are focusing your attention. What type of awareness right now are each of us in? And what kind of thoughts are we producing and recirculating all day long? And we are looking at a world, this is what I visualize. I visualize a world whose foundation is based in kindness, sensitivity, vulnerability, and appreciation. In bliss, in joy, tranquility, benevolence. And I imagine this is the new hardware and core program for all of mankind. And when you can imagine this, you can visualize it. It is already now. And notice again how you feel inside. It's how we feel inside. This is the primer to a paradise and a God planet. This is what it absolutely is. We are the power. We are the creators. It is knowing who and what we are. If you don't know who and what you are, how in the heck can you create into reality? You can't. Maybe blindly stumble here and there, but in most cases, it isn't going to happen. And that's why so many of us become so miscombobulated, so frustrated, so stressed out, because we don't. We don't know who and what we are. See, we don't make the journey within. And those of us that begin, because it's spreading, and it's advancing, and it cannot be halted. It is, period. How you feel inside. That's where it all comes from. How you feel inside. So, if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted. And I'm sure we all are. And the first thing we want to do is relax our bodies. And the relationship we have with our bodies is key, it's crucial. So when we communicate with our bodies, we say, body, let's relax here. Let's just drop the shoulders, let go, relax, lean into the God that you are, and just kind of float off. I mean, I like the canoe on the water, and there's just nothing around. It's total silence. There's a crisp coolness in the air. The lake, you're on a lake, it's placid. The sun is, you've got mist coming off, moisture coming off the lake, kind of looks like fog. And you see birch trees on the shorelines, and you can see the golden sunlight coming up because it's a clear day. And you see how the white bark on the birch trees kind of glow, and everything is just completely silent. And you kind of fade off into a peaceful state. And you just kind of immerse yourself in your own joy and bliss and peace. And everything else around you fades out. It has no real importance. You have no draw to it. You're drawn within yourself. You're at home. It's your natural state of being. It's the same in a hammock on a early summer afternoon, where you just lay in the hammock. You got a slight breeze coming over your body, just enough, and you seem to you just kind of fall into yourself, And the noises in the neighborhood, wherever you may be, seem to just fade out. And you don't move. And you're completely still. And you're at total peace and rest. And everything around you seems to fade away. All your worries, concerns, fears, anxieties that you're creating for yourself are gone. This is a natural state of being. And isn't it wonderful when we're able to go there? So we relax the body, head to toe, inside and out. And then we move into the now. And the now is all we have. Everything happens in the now. We don't go into the past and drag all the dead things that we've already experienced, long gone, and drag into our future to create our future. So some people, and I'm not saying it's bad, but some people will go into their past, drag the past into the future to create their future, and relive the dead things that they've already experienced. Isn't it amazing? So we stay in the now. And in the now, we, in this very moment, we're creating our future. The future that we desire. The world that we desire. It's not wishful thinking. It is being created. Your intent comes from your heart, mind, and the divine being that you are inside that body. So therefore, you're creating it. There's no debate about it. And the only thing that will stop you is the doubt and the fear and the ego mind. And that's about knowing who and what you are. So that does not take place because we choose everything. And being in the now stills the mind. If you're in the now, when you're in the now, just that moment, it is the heart, it is the space between the heartbeat. That's the now. And so when that happens, you're creating your future, and you still the mind. You still the ego mind. Because the ego mind is never satisfied, as we know. And you still the subconscious mind, which is filled with the past. The subconscious mind is programmed with the past. That's why it influences you so heavily. It's the past that keeps influencing a lot of us. And when we recognize that, we move forward and upward. We do not stay in the past, because in the past, the boogeyman is there. And in the past, the worry, the stress, the fear is there. See? So the subconscious is like a sponge, and it absorbs all of that stuff. And when we still the mind, we can reprogram the subconscious mind as well. So we relax the body in the now, still the mind, and we breathe. We breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Breathing is very important. It calms us. It relaxes us. It puts us at ease. It can lower your blood pressure. It can eliminate stress, anxiety, fear. You know how powerful it is? And most of it taken for granted. We shallow breathe. So picture, as you breath in through the nose, you breath in through the sacral chakra. Okay? Let's just say the groin area, and you just pull it straight up through the center of your body, where the etheric chakra energies, main energy points are. And you pull it right up, bring it up, take your body, move it, bring it up, all the way up through the throat chakra, all the way up through the third eye, all the way up into the brain, into the cranial area, your cap. Condense it into pure liquid energy and bathe the pineal gland in it. And watch the pineal gland come alive, open, flourish, and continue to do this. You bring it in, up, over, out, in, up, over, out, and it's a continual circle. Continual. Because we can do this. And the pineal gland is the gateway to all the particles of existence. And beyond. And it's beyond consciousness. So, as we're breathing in, of course, we sustain it. This is what we're doing. We're sustaining it up in the brain. And we pull it into liquid frequency energy. And when we do this, we can use vibrational frequency in words. We can use I am light, I am love. We can use I am power, I am divinity, I am tranquility, I am benevolence, I am gentleness, I am kindness, I am power. Whatever you choose to use as the frequencies in the words. It's about 3 seconds. And then we breath out through the mouth. As we breath in, we're pulling in and holding divine positive energy of that which we're made of. And the collective consciousness of the universes. And it's always a message, information, super highway. And it comes in through the gods within us and in through the heart mind. It doesn't come in through the ego mind. It comes in through the heart mind. Ego mind wouldn't recognize it. It would just push it away. It would detour it. Heart mind embraces. It comes in and communicates with us. It is what we, each and every one of us, decide to embrace. Do we embrace the lower dark matter frequencies, the fear, the anxiety, the stress, the worriedness, the anticipation? Or do we embrace the gods that we are? The bliss, the joy, the happiness, the abundance, the prosperity? What is it that we embrace? What do we choose to embrace? Because it is, when it all is said and done, each and every one of us are the determinators. We decide what goes on this planet. We decide what's created on this planet. We decide how life expands and flourishes. We decide how we can assist each other, help each other. We decide this, and not just on special occasions, but always. We, all of us, decide this. No one else does. You see the facade? Do you see the trickery on our gods within and these bodies in physical form that's played on us every instant? Because someone says something, that's how it's going to be? It's crap. Each and every one of us were given, we are of the power. We are of the power, from the power. We are of the love, from the love. We are of creation, from creation. We are creation. So our intent in every single thought is creating. When you really know who and what you are, this is not even a debatable, not even close to being a debatable. It is a constant and it is a fact. And when you gain that confidence that's within you, it's there, and you bring it to front and center through your heart mind, you will begin to find out and realize and experience that you are the one that determines how you are going to exist on this planet, and what world is it that you dare to create for yourself. Now, of course, we have the ego mind. It does play. We understand that. It's not a big deal anymore. We know what the ego mind is. We know it can never be satisfied. We know that it will always push and send thoughts at us, and it will always have to have more. And then it'll make us believe that, well, when we have this or we do this, then we'll be satisfied and it'll be complete. No, it won't be, because it'll be more and more and more and more. It's incessant. It never, ever lightens up until you take command and you begin to practice your mastership over the ego mind and over all things. How are you going to create a universe? How are you going to create a universe through collective consciousness if you don't know how to guide yourself? How? How are you going to be able to create a universe, a planet, a solar system, if you don't know how to create for yourself? See? We are creating a paradise world. No matter what anything is bubbling up in this low dark matter frequencies, we are creating a God planet and a paradise world. And that is where we're going. Now, we have a lot of others with us, all right? We are with our heart, minds, and the gods within us. And they are too. So the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes, trillions of them, they vibrate at a different frequency than we do, so we don't see them. I can show you an experiment where we can literally look at a solid wood door, and we can apply a certain gravitational field and rearrange the molecular structure of that wooden door. And as we do that, the door then becomes invisible. Do you know why? Because the molecular structure of that wooden door, the frequency has been increased to the point where it is no longer in a third, fourth, fifth, we can bring it to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 dimensions. It disappears. And you could run your hand there, you could try to, infrared light, it's gone. It's gone. We displaced it into a higher frequency, into another dimension. And that's where we have gone on our first step of ascension in fifth dimension. So the archangels have been with us for a long time. All the angels have. And they have the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love, and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude. And it's the same with the ascended masters. Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Sananda Jesus, El Morya, Abundantia, Pel, Thoth, many, many, many more. And they have ascended out of body and maintained God form. We are the God form that come into the body, ascend into the body to experience physical form. So in a way, guys, we're all mastering. We're all masters. We just have different degrees of mastership. That's all. Determined by what we desire to do and create. So they're of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude. So we all come together, so to speak, arm in arm, hand in hand, those of us who hold physical form, and those that don't. They come in with their gods. And we form a circle of light. And the circle of light is the light of creation. It is the light of source creation. It is the light of pure consciousness. It is a high vibrational frequency. The frequency of deep eternal love and deep eternal gratitude, it cannot be measured. It's off the charts. It's weak, because I'll tell you, at a 20th dimension, it is still higher, but it is more prevalent. See what I mean? It continues to intensify, and it continues to expand in higher and higher and higher dimensional frequencies, of which more are being created every single second. That's why it continues to intensify and it continues to expand. Now, as we form this circle of light, this halo around the equator of this planet, Earth, Gaia, and this meditation, this circle of light, we begin to levitate up. And by forming a circle, a gossamer field appears. A massive crystalline light tower, many times larger than this planet, than this solar system, is seen in etheric form. And it literally is in the middle of this gossamer field of highly reflective, vibrant, brilliant colors. And it saturates, along with the crystalline light tower and the gossamer field, saturating all of us, this entire planet, this solar system, this planet Gaia, inside and out, above and below. and it's highly charged with the highest and deepest eternal love and the highest and deepest eternal gratitude. And it literally reminds us, because the emerald green flaming healing light, it is a tower, these brilliant emerald green reflections in the gossamer field. And it is a column that reminds us of our healing power. And the purple, blue, flaming, violet, blue, flaming purple light of Archangel Michael. Brilliant colors. It is a column that reminds us of our power, our strength, our resolve. And then we have the white fire. White fire is our armor, the armor of higher frequency. When you concentrate on bliss, joy, happiness, peace, tranquility, abundance, prosperity, all of the wonderful things that are you, and you bring them outside, and they begin to affect others, there isn't any low dark matter frequency or low survival matter frequency that can come near you. It's a fact. Excuse me, if you know anything about frequencies. So the only way is through our choosing, that if we allow ourselves to be seduced to the lower dark matter frequencies of fear, anger, stress, anxiety, all of that, we will let them in. Not a big deal either. We bring in the purple transmuting flame. That tower, that column reminds us of the fact that we can literally take this goop that has come in, transmute it into neutralized substance, and send it back to source creation. Great central sun, of which we all are. So it's transmuted neutralized substance and it's repurposed back into creation. See? And then we have the column of the violet ray that we bring in to remind us that we can then bring that in after the purple transmuting flame and purify the whole area. Then we raise our vibrational frequencies and we literally stop the incoming low frequencies to affect us. And we have the golden white pink light, which a lot of people are seeing more and more, of source creation, of pure consciousness, of that which created us, of that which created prime source creator God, Mother, Father God, masculine, feminine, all of it. And that reminds us all that we are love, and that we are bliss, and that we are tranquility and benevolence. So, it is our choice. So we levitate up, and we come outside of those of us who are inhabiting physical form, we come outside the body and float about. We immediately call out to all the light energy beings that are currently in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. And only those who are the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love can join us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light, and the highest and deepest eternal gratitude. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, and benevolence, and they come. And they come in the Gugaplexes. One Gugaplex will fill this entire universe. They come in trillions of Gugaplexes from every direction. Arm in arm, hand in hand, their gods with our gods with theirs. They are with us in this now, in this meditation, in this circle of light. They are of the highest and deepest, deepest, deepest gratitude and the highest and deepest eternal love. We are of the highest and deepest, deepest, deepest gratitude and the highest and deepest eternal love. And we're all one, all love. And our God light energy continues to intensify and expand. We call upon all the inhabitants of inner earth, of Garta, hollow earth, beneath earth. All of these civilizations, many, many, many of them, only those who are of the highest, deepest, eternal love, from the highest, deepest, eternal love, can join us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light, in the highest and deepest eternal gratitude. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence. And they come arm in arm, hand in hand, their gods with our gods with theirs. They are with us in this now, in this meditation, this circle of light. They're of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, the highest and deepest eternal love. We are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, and the highest of deepest eternal love. We're all one, and we're all love. And our God-light energy continues to intensify and expand. We call upon all the galactics, all the off-worlders, many, many, many civilizations. Just to name a fraction of familiarity, the Arcturians, the Pleiadians, the Sirians, and Andromedans. Only those who are of the highest of deepest eternal love, from the highest of deepest eternal love, and of the highest of deepest eternal gratitude, can join us in this meditation, this now, in this circle of light. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, and benevolence. And they come in the billions. They have been assisting us in our evolution, in our enlightenment, in our ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and slavery. Their gods with our gods with theirs. Arm in arm, hand in hand, they are with us in this now, in this meditation, this circle of light. They are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, and the highest of deepest eternal love. We are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, and the highest of deepest eternal love. And we are all one, and we are all love. And our God-light energy continues to intensify and expand. We call upon our loved ones, all of those who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. Only those who are of the highest, deepest eternal love, from the highest, deepest eternal love, and of the highest, deepest eternal gratitude can join us in this now, in this meditation, in this circle of light. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, and benevolence. And they come in the billions, arm in arm, hand in hand, in this now, in this circle of light, in this meditation. They are with us. Their gods with our gods with theirs. They are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, and the highest of deepest eternal love. We are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, and the highest of deepest eternal love. We are all one. We are all love. And our God-light energy continues to intensify and continues to expand. We call upon all of the light energy beings who have decided to be housed in the following forms, on and above and below this planet Earth Gaia, in this now, in this meditation, in this circle of light. Just to name a few: the fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur, many, many, many more. Only those who are of the highest, deepest eternal love, from the highest, deepest eternal love, and the highest of deepest eternal gratitude can join us in this now, in this meditation, in this circle of light. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence. And they come in the trillions, shapes, colors, sizes, forms, configurations of which we have never seen before. Their gods with our gods with theirs, arm in arm, hand in hand. They are with us in this now, in this circle of light, in this meditation. They are of the highest, deepest eternal gratitude and the highest of deepest eternal love. We are of the highest and deepest eternal gratitude and the highest of deepest eternal love. We are all one. And we are all love. And our God-light energies and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We look up and we see our meditative sphere. It sets center circle. We created this sphere over 2 years ago. It holds all of our meditations in perpetual motion. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them. Of the highest vibrational frequencies of deep eternal love and the deepest of eternal gratitude. It's flooding us all, non-stop, perpetually, in this divinity of which we were created out of. It floods and saturates and bathes our physical bodies, inside and out, head to toe, our etheric bodies. And it literally continues to lift us higher and higher and higher into deeper and deeper eternal love light frequency, where we begin to realize and understand whatever it is we desire, whatever world we desire, we create for ourselves. This is all of our natural state of being. This is what floods us. It is always there. It isn't outside. It is housed within. And once we embrace it, we will not let go of it. We will truly then become one. The God and the body will merge into one. And we will then have a complete paradise and God planet to experience. And that is where we are going. That is which cannot be obstructed or changed or reversed, because we know our intent and we know the gods that we are, and we know that we are love, and we know that we are joy, and we know that we are peace, abundance, prosperity, and bliss, tranquility, and benevolence. We look down upon this planet Earth, Gaia. We see all of our brothers and sisters. We see all life, the highest value in all the universe. They too are being flooded. Remember the crystalline light tower, massive. We have been building this tower for over 2 years of high intensity, deep, eternal love, of bliss, of joy, of prosperity, of abundance. And it is complete. And it is literally harmonizing this entire collective. And we are lifting ourselves through our own choices. And that all of the people, all of the beings on this planet, on it, in it, above and below it, are elevating with us. And we are seeing it change all around us, because the change is the God that we have brought out from within us. And it is affecting every single life form on this planet. Join you in a meditation. I'll return to close this out. take this knowingness with you for the rest of the day, into the evening, into the night, and the following morning. Feel it, because you are it. I think some of you already know, there's a call for it's kind of interesting, but it's a call for an assembly of 1 million people to meditate on April 4th at specifically time of 10:45 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And because of the astrological portal of, I believe, Jupiter and Pluto, and to bring as many as possible on the planet into harmony on this meditation for about 20 minutes. And I'm checking to see what that date is. That's Saturday, the 4th of April at 10:45 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So what we will do is our group, it's kind of interesting, of over 60 million of us, will do a meditation at 10:45 Eastern Daylight Time to assist in any way we can with the continued transformation of the planet and the continuing elimination and diffusing of all the lower dark matter frequencies effects on the planet and civilization and all life. So I'll announce it again, but we do our meditation on Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern, and then we've done this before, and then we'll do another meditation at 10:45 for the planet, the civilization, actually the solar system, concentrating our focus on Earth Gaia. So, and I think a lot of you have received the information, so, we'll kind of go over it a little bit on the time for change call, which is Wednesday. And this is April 4th, which is Saturday of next week. So I think we'll be able to go over and cover some things, along with some other information that I will share on that call. So we will be back here March 28th, 2020, Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided